Hey traders, Park again with another indicator. Today I'll be introducing you to the inside day indicator. And this is the definition of what an inside day is: a pattern where the preceding candles are inside the high and low of the previous candle. And I'll put the indicator on. Right now it comes defaulted as the 5 minute, but we're going to push it up to the day. And this is what the indicator does. If a candle is between, if the next candle is between the high and low of the previous candle, it creates a range for you. And this right now is it's a 2 bar pattern. As you can see, it works out pretty good on this 3M company, and you can see how you get an arrow also showing when it breaks down or when it breaks above one of the ranges. You get one for a positive bar, a green bar, or a red bar. I also included the code for the buying and selling pressure, so you may see a green on a red bar or a red on a green bar but what really matters is where the closing price is and the wick, lower wick, and the high price and the close. And if the close minus the low is higher than the high minus the close, then it'll be a green one. And vice versa, it'll be red. Right now, I have it set for 2 bars, so we can change it over to the 3 bar. And the 3 bar is less cluttered, but it's not exactly what they call a inside day bar, but inside day pattern actually. But I found out that 3 bars is more consistent, and it is less noise. And when I say noise, you get less. It's less changing of the patterns, or less information that's being given so much, and it's more reliable for me with 3 bars instead of just using 2. So, but if you notice originally, this was your bar right here for your inside day. And I also have a volume base as well for it. So we can put it on back on the 2 bars. I'm only going to show you the volume base if the bar was above average volume. And this, you can see this yellow bar, this white bar, they're all above average. And the white bars, if you remember, is ultra high volume. You can find one on a regular green bar like this one right here. It's a regular green bar, but it's actually high volume, or above average volume, I should say. Same situation here as well. You can adjust the time as well for these bars. So right now I have it set for a day. You can move it down. You can move it up to a week and get this same trend as well, or same ranges as well. Or you can change it, set it up for a month as well. I haven't tried on a year. I really don't think it's gonna work. But like I said, it's fully customizable, and just for we'll push it up to max available and give thinkorswim a second to calculate everything. So thinkorswim should have calculated everything, and right now this is giving us a lot of information. So we're gonna see what it does if I put this thing on a year. It shouldn't do anything. That's crazy. But it brought up this entire year, which is crazy to me. But it shows that the indicator works. So that's 3M. Let's put on a SPY and see what happens. If there's actually an inside that year. And there was. So how far back does this go? So from year 2002 into 2003, it traded within this range. That's crazy. But I digress. So the way I use it is, I usually, if I'm day trading, I usually We'll put it on an hour, and I would use my 15-minute chart because 15 minutes is 1/4 of an hour, so 10 day 15, and gives off pretty good signals. As you can see, it stayed within this tight range right here, broke above, rose up, came back into this area, and then from there it struggled a little bit, came back in, then came back out. And right now I still have it set on just the 2 bar. So each one of these bars, or each one of these highlighted areas, represents an hourly candle with the preceding candles within the range of that high and low of that hourly candle. And as you can see, this acted as resistance when it came over here. The stock actually paused, and right now it's acting as support. Now the candle actually broke up above it. One of the reasons why I created this indicator was because I was in this trade on AMD, and I screwed up. I was in at 110, a couple of $1,000 in at 110, but found like it would just stay within this range once it finally broke above. But I didn't have this indicator then, and it was just an idea. But when I initially created the indicator, I was using 3 bars, but I had to go back and figure out that the actual inside day is just a 2-day pattern, and I really could have just stayed in this thing the whole entire time. Instead of just getting out of it, I would have recognized, hey, you got all of this right here acting as support for this candle. Even though it dropped off right here for a minute, it came right back up. But I digress on that as well. But it did help me catch this snow down here in the 165, because I noticed it just stayed and just kept bouncing right there. But like I said, I didn't have the indicator then, but I still took the trade, and I'm in snow right now, and I'm up a couple $100. So, and that's all that matters, that the indicator actually works. And when it drops out right here. It creates this line telling me, hey, this was the close that it broke off of. If it comes back above, you may be able to take the trade and come back up into it and play it like that. You'll buy in right here and place your stop loss somewhere below here, and then you'll take the trade up to here just to scalp it and get back out of it, and this will be your exit point. But it's based on the 3 bar, and we'll go back to the 2 bar and we'll take another look at it as well. So this is the indicator. It works pretty good for me, especially when I'm looking at a day trade, or possibly looking at when a candle breaks above it on a day. If you go to the scan, this is what the results that I got for the day breaking above it. As you can see, the up signal on the inside day, higher time frame, and I forgot if I'm using a 2 bar or the 3 bar. I'm using a 2 bar. So with the scan, we're looking at the 2 bar, and we got Lululemon, DWAC. If you remember, that's the Donald Trump social media stock. And right now I have it set as percent change, and I would normally sort it out with volume. So AMD, what I just got off of, fits the criteria. So we'll go back to AMD, and we will go back to the day, and we will put this back on a daily time frame. And it broke above here. It broke above the line, and it's breaking above. So this is what we get with that. You'll get this, and let's check it out. What else did we find? Let's try it again. Let's do the scan again. It may have found something else. So, and that's pretty much it. You got this. You got the indicator. You got the up signals. You got the bars that actually breaks down or break above. and you have these ranges. And like I said, normally I would use it on the 3 day. Oh, I forgot to show you. There's the volume base one. If I did show you that at the beginning, but we're gonna look at it on 3 day without the volume, and let's see what it shows us with AMD. Right now, AMD is trading within the range of this candle right here, and right now it broke back into it, but it needs to actually break above 126 to go higher. And then it's going to face this area, this supply area as well at 131, and that's the 50% retracement as well. So this is the indicator, and like I said, I'm calling it the inside day indicator, and that's basically what it does. You have the option to switch between time frames. You have the original version or the volume version. Show breakout signals, and also I forgot to show you this as well. So these other lines show you the past areas of where bars were traded inside other bars. So we'll change this back to the 2, and this is what you get as well. Because this bar ended, so it created this yellow bar, and this is where this bar is trading within now. And you have this past one, this green one right here, and it created this one, but it's back inside this green one as well. So that helps out as well, because this is gonna just keep flowing as it finds other 3 bar or 2 bar plays. You can actually check and see, hey, there was one behind it. So just like this one right here with 3M, it's trading within this range and this range as well. It broke out above it for this moment on this candle right here, but it couldn't sustain it and it came back into it. And we'll go back to the S&P 500, and you can see those same results. Let me get rid of my drones off of here, and we can see it as well. So here's your first range. S&P 500 fell into it when it made this range right here, fell back into it. It's also fighting this range as well, and it actually just broke out, and it's facing this range right here. It's above all of this stuff right here, and now it's in this range between this candle right here. So it needs to break out above 452.75, and it has support right here at 443.87. So hopefully it continues to break out in what it's doing. So we'll go back to the 10-day 15, and like I said, we'll switch this back to an hour, or you can switch it to whatever time frame you preferably trade on. So right now it's falling back into this range. It was in this range right here. Now it's falling back into it. But this was the open this morning. It was really, really choppy this morning, if anybody was watching it. And it fell back between, but it didn't breach this area right here. And it finally broke above it, create this new range, and then it came back into this range right here. So one of the other ways, like I said, you can use on any time frame you want to use it on. And right now, this is the 15-minute on the 5-minute, and we can get rid of our other lines, or I say our past lines. And you can see how everything played out for today. And like I said, you can switch it down to the lower time frames. Right now, I have it on hour. Which switches to the actual 5-minute. You're gonna get a lot of noise, but it works. It's still effective, just like we're right here. But me personally, I wouldn't use it on the same time frame that I was using on. I was usually use it on a higher time frame. So we will push this one to the 15-minute on the 5-minute, and we are using the 2-bar play, and it worked out pretty good right here. So let's look at it on the 3-bar. And this is what we got in the 3-bar. It worked out really well on the 3-bar because it traded within this range, this 15-minute range right here of this candle. And then once it finally broke above, it came back and retested the range and went up from there. So we put this on the 15 minutes, and this is what we get. We got this high-low range right here. And there's our line right there. And it just kept going up. Let's swing it back. Gotta give Thinkorswim a second. But this is the indicator. And if you have any other questions, leave me some feedback in the comments. Look up what an inside day is. A lot of other videos on YouTube about inside days and how to play them. If you like this video, please leave me a like and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And also, you can find the link in the description for the actual indicator. I appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch the video. Wish y'all the best.